Hello. With this video, I'd like to explain our core approach for the research. We have different types of the research project, and we have a showcase for our research. But all projects have core approach, which is how we see ocean and society and interactions of ocean and our society. We consider sustainable fisheries system. It consists with two different types of productivity. One is the biological reproductivity of the marine ecosystem, which is a marine creature. The individual creature, they grow and also do the reproduction. So it's totally depend on the marine environment. Another productivity we consider is productivity of the fisheries industry. That is starting with the marine capturing fishing industry. As an entire fishery system, production activity of the fishery system begin with as an economic activity of the fishing. Because if we don't catch fish, just this is a fish in the water, it's not exactly resources. Fisheries catch fish, bring it to the land, then we can utilize as a resources. And fishermen, they don't catch fish for fun. They need to get income. They need to get the economic benefit with their activity. That's the reason they put their effort, labor, and also investment to the fishing gear, such as vessel and fishing gears, or whatever they needed. The policy is an instrumental tool which try to control or like govern these two different production. The one is marine conservation and fishery policy to ensure the sustainable marine production. Another is regional policy to maintain sustainable economy motivation. This overview is quite simple. However, in practical sense, how we can approach to resolve the issue. Now we have a systems thinking or systems approach to see these dynamics. Marine food production as a system, we have to decide or understand structure, parts, which is an element of the structure, and interconnections between the parts and the entire structure, and the function of the system, and value of the system. Structure is biological production and economic activities of society that rely on these biological resources as a resources. Function is to provide sustainable food supply and generating employment. This is a function of the system. Then, a rationale of maintaining the system as a public policy. Public policy is not a benefit to the one individual or one sector. Rather, should cover the entire society. And also, the public policy should take care of the market failure, which free market system cannot deal with that. So this is a kind of key why we need public policy, such as marine conservation policy or fishery policy, or regional economic policy, which enhance or like govern economic activities of the fisheries industry. when the ocean itself, they have a biological production, as you know that. Then we have a certain function, the system, food supply and employment. We can't deplete marine resources. If we depleted crops, in this case, we cannot keep this function of the system, food supply, and generating employment. Then, how we can govern this system or control system? Between these two elements, ocean and society, we have fisheries. And again, fisheries, they operate according to their economic motivation. Unless they have economic motivation, they catch fish, they bring to the land. If they don't have, they don't operate. It means that, fish is just fish, not resources. And also in the coastal area, the people don't have raw material to process at the seafood processors and other associated industries. So this system is not like an independent component. Rather than that, it's connected by the fisheries. Then, economic production from fisheries. This is really key. And economic motivation of fisheries as a leverage point in the system, in a sense, public policy. Public policy at a different dimension, as I mentioned. One is oceanside marine conservation and fisheries policy to ensure the sustainable marine biological production. And on the other hand, regional policy, that is to maintain sustainable economic motivation. Its entire system has so many things to deal with that. But always, the budget and human resources are limited. So when we see this as a system, we can see the core, or what we call the engine of that system, is fisheries. It means that public policy should focus on that, this marine capturing fisheries, and focus on their economic motivation. Because if they have more economic motivation, they catch more. If they don't have economic motivation, they catch less, right? So entire system is really governed by the fisheries. And also the society side. This is the only part we can influence or impact it by the policy. So that's the reason we called economic motivation for the fisheries as a leverage point of the system, which policy should focus on that. So entire our research project actually based on this base fundamental understanding of the system. Then our research project outcomes very heading for how to control this economic motivation. And by focusing on here, this economic motivation for the fisheries, we try to change the entire fishery system, drive this system to the sustainable and optimized way. Thank you.